Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Our instant match reaction. Liverpool drew at Craven Cottage 1-0 against Fulham, who was really struggling now in the Premier League. I want your thoughts on today's match, what you thought Liverpool need to improve going into that Tottenham game against Jose Mourinho. Liverpool level on points, Tottenham on 25 points. Leicester have got a game in hand. They can, if they win their game in hand, they will be 1 point behind Liverpool and Tottenham at the top of the Premier League. But we've got a lot to dive into today, really. Obviously, I don't want to be too negative, really. Try and pick out some positives. I know you probably laugh and go positives, but the aspects of the game that Liverpool really did do, and obviously we'll analyse the things Liverpool done such poorly executed today, really, and obviously team selection and players we felt that should have really come on, but you can't really pick a lot of players that have been out injured anyway. But well, I've got a very special guest as always, Connor from the Cop Council here now, mate. Thank you for coming on. It's helped if we added you to the stream, but thank you for coming on, mate. It's
absolutely.
Oh, God. Yeah, go on. Sorry, Dan.
No, thanks for having us on again. And anyone else just feel frustrated, pissed off? I think many fans are like that right now. But yeah, it's just one of those games that was just annoying for us.
A big sigh from every single Liverpool fan. Look, just one of them, mate. On it, it was ridiculous. I'm surprised that Liverpool was somehow got a point from that game. I tell you that now. Liverpool got very lucky and very fortunate with the obviously penalty. Yeah, it was a handball, but I tell you, if that was given against us, I don't think we'd be very much happy.
No, I think we'd all be a part of VAR get out again, even though there was an incident with VAR that I think we will talk about in a little bit. But yeah, look, I think we would have been even more frustrated if we were 1-0 up and that was given as a penalty, and it's been given to us against us loads of times this season. So a bit fortunate, but yeah, you are right. But we were lucky just to come away with a point. To be fair to us.
Yeah, just before we do go into the analysis, Fulham, hats off. If there's any Fulham fans out there watching a video going, why are you not talking about us? Fair credit. And I hope Match of the Day, I know Match of the Day don't really like to praise, obviously, teams anyway, but from a Liverpool fan point of view, I mean, Connor, I think we shout out to Fulham because they made Liverpool play this poor yet again. Aside that, sat behind the ball, but they were very clever. Would you think, Connor, with the way in which they done their attacks, very counter-attack? And I think this would be a style of how Mourinho is probably sat at home licking his lips with the thought of obviously his style of play suits very similar to obviously how Aston Villa played against us, how obviously Atalanta beat us as well in the Champions League, and how obviously Fulham have got a very... They will be kicking themselves, and I think Scott Parker will be very disappointed that he didn't come away from Craven Cottage with all 3 points. And we'll get to a couple of comments as well. Mark, a point is better than nothing, but Matip being cared is not good. Yeah. And just a quick one on Matip, Connor. Yet again, we me and you laugh and joke and say we've got to wrap this man in cotton wool, but he's injured again.
It's yet again we're having this conversation. Why are we having this conversation again? He was kept wrapped up midweek, didn't play at all. We ended up using Fabinho instead, and yet again we're talking about Joel Matip and being injured again. It's a frustrating conversation that keeps on happening, and we all talk about we need a centre back, just one centre back in January. I think we need 2, maybe even 3 at the minute, because it's just going to be January is literally going to be the window of defenders for us, because we've said, you've said it on your channel, I've said it on my channel, having Matip there, yes, he's a world-class centre-back when he is fit, but when he is fit, it is so little, and that was yet again we had to use Henderson there again tonight, and that's just not good enough realistically for us.
Yeah, that's absolutely spot on. I think obviously we'll get to a couple more comments, but I'll pick up a point on what Connor just said there. Everyone let you know your thoughts, and obviously Henderson playing centre back really. Yup, Sam Aiken, it's a big sigh. Hey, Sam. When the final whistle went, he was like, oh. Mark's went, hello, Connor. How you doing, Mark? I hope you're having a lovely day and evening wherever you are, Reds around the world. Thank you very much for coming on to the live stream. Very frustrating after that, Seamus. Very much so, mate. And thank you for joining the live stream. Watch along, Seamus. Absolute legends. Wasn't our best performance, Sam. I tell you, it wasn't our best performance. Nico is impressing every game he plays now, Seamus. Absolutely spot on there, mate. Obviously, will and that was painful. Anyway, Doug. Anyway, thank you for the comment, Doug. Doug, if you want to jump on the live stream, I'm not too sure if you're working, mate, if you're on your break, but if you've got a little time or if you're too busy, no worries, mate. But just I'll see your face down in the stream and the stream. I'll add you on, mate. So jump on if you want to, mate. But just to point off what obviously Connor was discussing, obviously with Joel Matip going off injured, Nico Williams come on in the second half, and you're seeing Jurgen utilise Henderson playing him centre back in, and that really was it just took away from Liverpool's midfield. The midfield in the whole team in the first half, I'm not going to pick out players because every single player apart from Alisson in that first half could really vouch for he had a good half, because if it wasn't for Alisson, as I said in my title and my thumbnail, in my title, Alisson and Jones were my man in a match. But analysing Henderson going into the centre-back area, Connor, do you reckon that really took away from any potential creativity from Liverpool? Obviously, him slotting him back centre-back. Obviously, you had Minamino coming in, and I've seen a lot of people on social media picking Minamino out, and it's very unfair criticism. Obviously, everyone's entitled to opinions, but for me personally, my thoughts, it was, what's Minamino meant to do when everyone around him is playing so bad? He's not like a Messi or Ronaldo who's going to come into the lineup and really flourish.
It's hard, and I think it's like you said, it's a bit unfair criticizing Taki, because I know that Scholesy in our group chat, was saying, he thought that Taki didn't have a good game in that. Realistically, Klopp is asking him to play a position that he's never played before, and quite clearly, Klopp has somehow seen or has looked at that position and gone, maybe Taki can do something in it. But when we're struggling in a game that is, the nitty gritty type of things, you need a player like Fabinho in there, a machine that will just bombard their midfield, and that not a person like Taki that likes the ball at the feet and like a Messi that will try and work around the players, and that game wasn't designed for him. Maybe someone like a Naby Keita would have been good. Yet again, I love Naby, but yet again, he's missing again. It's frustrating. There must be something happening. It must be either training. I know that, of course, this is, a jam-packed season yet again, obviously because of, the pandemic and that, but there must be something happening, because for me, there's too many injuries for my liking happening at the minute. Matip again, Keita again, Shaqiri. It's the same old suspects yet again. And, why is this the case? Because they're not playing, when they are brought into the team, they're not playing week in, week out, apart from maybe Naby. Naby's probably the only one I'd say that, is usually, there or thereabouts. But I just don't get what is happening. That could just be me, being blindsided and that. But, and to criticize Taki in such situations and that, I do think it's unfair. I agree with you. I think Alisson was fantastic first off. And
if it wasn't for him, that would have been about 4 or 5-1.
Yeah, it would have been, that is the realism of it. And, it would have easily been, like you said, 4-5 goals, but I remember, I think people on Twitter as well, they were like, having to go to Alisson for not positioning himself correctly, for the first goal. I'm like, if he didn't position himself correctly for the previous 3 shots, we'd be 3-0 down. So don't be chatting and that. But look, again, though, but the first half performance, if that first half performance was better like it was in the second half, I don't think we draw this game. I think we end up winning it, maybe a 1-0 and that. But again, it's that poor performance against small teams yet again.
It was wasted. That first half felt wasted to me. And everyone at home, let us know your thoughts. It was like we couldn't be asked. Like the lads couldn't be asked. And I know it's difficult the way in which Liverpool do play our football. There's always going to be 110% every single game. But today, you've got to be careful, like it was against Aston Villa. You can allow in certain games, you can have couple of players, one or two players, when the whole team is a collective force, apart from obviously goalkeeping and Curtis in the middle of the park, you're up for danger. And Fulham, really, heart of hearts, should have won that game. Liverpool shouldn't have really got a point from that, but we did. And you've got to move, and we're happy that we've got a point from this. But Fulham had 25% possession, and off the back of creating as much as they did, we'll talk about the goal first, mate, and get to a couple more of your comments as well. But we'll analyse that goal. That goal was shocking. From a second phase to a third phase to a fourth phase, that goal could have been stopped in about 4 or 5 areas of the pitch when that ball gets cleared off the set piece anyway. But I gather Trent was rested, Mark. Yeah, he definitely was, mate. Obviously, he played midweek in the Champions League. So, and me and Connor have just said, and every single one of you at home, speaking to all your mates as well, you can't be risking players. And I tell you, if Trent was the next player to go out injured, it would be very much scratching our heads, really, and going, where would we go?
Oh, don't talk about injuries. Like, to be fair, like we've said it like secretly in that. I said about Joey Gomez being fantastic. I think about 2 days later he got injured. So
yeah,
don't be talking about players and injuries, please.
Yeah, Neko, Doug's having his tea. Nice one, lad. What are you having? Hope you're having a lovely Sunday roast anyway, but bet he's having a cheeky Chinese or something. I know Jamie, one of the lads, when we were speaking on live stream, he was having a half and half pizza from last night. He just whacked it in the microwave, and he was that's the best type of pizza anyway after a night out. Or if you got it from the night before. Nico done well once he came on. Zuki, absolutely spot on there, mate. And obviously, social media, some people should not be allowed social media. But when Nico has a fantastic impact on the game, because that was a very difficult game for him, Zuki spot on there. Him coming into a pressure situation, which it was, because that was a pressure situation considering how well Fulham were playing. And Scotty Barker, after the game, I haven't seen his interview, but I'll probably watch it on Match of Day tonight. Nico, that you could have easily had an absolute shambles of a game, but the lads, the confidence in which he's shown over the last couple of weeks anyway, and what's been the confidence which has been given from the positive Liverpool fans towards him. What we thoughts on Nico, as Zuki said there, mate, he had a great impact in a little cameo appearance in which he did, because he could have had an absolute shambles and we could have conceded, but he never.
Yeah, again, he's been probably the star defender over the last couple of weeks, especially with Trent being out originally, and that, obviously impressed in the Champions League against Ajax, I think it was, at Anfield, again at Wolves, did well in that. And, it's just building up confidence, I think, with Nico Williams, because, of course, he isn't the starter. Of course, obviously Trent is, of course, the starter. But, when you come into the team, you're coming into the Premier League champions at the end of the day. And he's up there at being one of the most talented players that we have, like Curtis Jones today, and others. But it was a solid performance from him. And I thought he was probably better than Trent in this game. I think Trent probably maybe it was a bit of a hangover from midweek, even though it's easy to say that. But I think Neko's crosses was it's good at times. I think Divock Origi tried to get on one or two, but at the end of the day, it's good that we have that type of player to come in and not it be such a drop off from the likes of Trent, and that it is a drop off in a bit in class, because look, Trent's
Trent's ridiculous.
He's Trent. Trent is Trent. There isn't no one like him, and that. But Nico he's so good. He is so good, and I think people need to just give him the confidence, like with Callagher coming in last week and over the last couple of weeks. When Nico does come in, if he has that confidence in himself, I think he can definitely, be up there, one of the best fullbacks in the league, let alone friggin', Liverpool.
It's a learning curve. It's like the little cameo. It's another learning curve he's had. What you spot on there, mate, and spot on Zuki as always. Looks like you need to spend in January, as Liverpool are getting far too many injuries. Tom, that's a nice comment from him. Quite rare.
I was waiting for a bad one.
Thank you. Yeah, he's in a good mood. Everton won a game of footy, but nice one, Tom. My Mark Forrest agreeing with the lads. That match didn't fill my heart with joy, Liz. Yeah, it was a very disappointing display. Mark saying, hello, Liz. Afternoon, Mr. Forrest. Evening. Zuki as well. We always had a tough training regime. Yeah, it'd be interesting, Mark, and I think obviously a lot of people on social media will be analysing it. And I think when sometimes Liverpool had this couple of seasons ago when plays were going, I think Sturridge was one of the big cases. Sturridge, I think at the end of Liverpool's career, at the end of his Liverpool career, Liverpool figured out when to play him and when to rest him and when to get him training. And I think it's a matter of a couple of big players in that Liverpool squad. Naby, it's becoming beyond a joke now that he's continuously getting injured. The high, as Seamus has just said, then the high intensity training and a fixture pile up takes its toll. Seamus absolutely spot on. We have a few players that seem to be injury prone. Liz, definitely. We have been resting for Tottenham game, might have been resting for the Tottenham game. Spot on there, Liz. Seamus, evening, Liz. Knock wood, Jack. Yeah, touching wood, everyone. For the had chicken korma, lads. Oh, very, very nice. Where's your Sunday roast, lad? But yeah, it's chicken korma. Oh,
Get a bit diluted.
Yeah, nice. Might need to go to the toilet, Doug, after that, mate. But yeah, no, Fred, we should have invested heavier champions for crying out loud just before that we lifted the European Cup. No excuses. We should have invested bigger. I mean, Minamino is brutal. We love you, but it is over. Interesting, North. Red, thank you for your comment, mate. Really, obviously, we'll get the stats up there. There we go. As you can see there, obviously, Liverpool, I was going to say dominated, but as you can see there, Fulham registered 10 shots with 5 shots on target to Liverpool's 12 shots, 6 on target. Dominated proceedings, dominated possession. You can dominate possession until the cows come home, really, can't you? It doesn't really mean nothing. The only main stat that really matters is the scoreline. As you can see there from the lineup, Areola, I felt he had a very good game today. And obviously, Mane, really, let's go to, let's get that up. There we go. I'm a nightmare with this, as always. What am I doing? No, not that button. Sorry, everyone. Hang on. No, not that one either.
We're having technical difficulties.
Oh, this is why you shouldn't put McKindo in touch with technology, everyone. All right, there we go. That is a lot better. That's the view wanted. We'll go through, obviously, we've mentioned the first half and we kind of really in terms of Liverpool not having their best performance. Obviously, Liverpool made a couple of changes, really. We've got to speak about a couple of the Fulham lads as well. It's rightly that we do speak about them. Lookman, we've mentioned Trent not having the best of games. And that was mainly due to this man down the left-hand flank, really. He did do a nasty challenge, and for me, I was screaming he should have been sent off on my stream. But it was a nasty tackle. I think it was on Curtis Jones or one of the other lads anyway. But we impressed with a couple of the Fulham lads who impressed you today. And that you have to shout out. Him and those two, really, and mainly those three, mate, I was very impressed with.
Yeah, Lookman was very decent today. You know, I think there's been like a high expectation on Lookman, I think, ever since his Everton days. You know, obviously Evertonians saying like, you know, oh, he's going to be like one of the best wingers, and then he gets the move then to Leipzig, and then, you know, you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of good. You know, he's going to one of the top European clubs, and then, you know, then we're all like, Fulham, really? And especially what happened a couple of weeks ago with him in the penalty situation when he tried to Panenka someone, and so that wasn't good. But yeah, today I thought he was good. I thought Loftus-Cheek was good as well. You know, going down that left hand side of Liverpool's as well. You know, Robbo, you know, having to really defend against him, and yeah, Areola. You know, I think he dealt with, you know, when we were crossing in the balls and that, he came and collected them. You know, I think Salah had a chance in the first half, and, you know, Areola just took it with ease and that. So I think that's a key thing for Fulham this season, if they are going to stay up, is having that good goalkeeper. We all talk about goals, you know, with teams like this, but I think, you know, obviously defensively, you know, they need to sharpen up. Of course, they did sharpen up tonight. You know, they look excellent defensively. But having that, solid goalkeeper for me is the key. As we seen today, if it wasn't for Ali, it might have been a different story for us. But I think for me, that is the crucial area for them. They can keep Areola fit and healthy for the entirety of the season. That I think he could be the key for them for staying up this year.
Absolutely spot on. And so yeah, everyone at home, like if they play Fulham like they did today, I don't know where this performance has been in Fulham's locker really. But yeah, there's Doug. He's finished his call, man. Doug, you there? Do you give me a thumbs up if you're ready to come in live, La? Bet in the sky, this. There we go. There we go. There's our very own Roy Keane. Doug, yes, we don't want to be too harsh on the lads, but I think me and Connor have been very tame in what we've had to say. Obviously, there was a lot of very bad performances tonight. I mean, we can all agree on that, Doug. But just off the back of that performance, Doug, hope you enjoyed your tea as well, mate. Hopefully you saved me and Connor some anyway. But what are your thoughts, Jennifer, on the game, mate?
Well, first of all, my tea was lovely. Thank you very much. Piss poor. I'm sorry, it was piss poor. I don't usually Whoops.
I think Connor's there. There we go.
That's how bad it. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, it was really poor tonight. I thought Lookman looked good for Fulham, but he should have been off the pitch, in my opinion. I think that's a red card. I think that's a red card challenge. I mean, you could say we got away with one with the penalty, and I think we've got away with the dodgy one at the end there, because for me that's not handball.
Yeah, I was saying, I said to Connor at the top of the show, it's you don't even know what the laws of the game are. It depends what referee you've got in. Really, obviously, we haven't mentioned the Fabinho tackle within the first couple of minutes of the game, and you're like, you've any other ref. We know who referee would love to give that, say in Manchester United VAR ref, Fabinho.
David Kurtz.
Doug, do you reckon that was a penalty, the Fabinho potential? And obviously it got deemed to not be a penalty, but Fabinho allowed the referee to make that a potential penalty.
Do you know what the funny thing was? I said at the time when it happened, I said clean tackle, absolutely clean tackle. But when you actually look at like another angle, he gets nowhere near the ball, unfortunately. So I think we were very lucky to get away with that. Yeah, for me, it's a penalty.
I don't agree with that. I think he goes. I think he goes underneath the Fulham player's foot and gets the ball. And it's shocking that it took 3 minutes of the game to figure it out. When you have the images there and available, why did it take 3 minutes for a simple, clean tackle? Why did it take so long?
Yeah,
that's the thing for me.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the thing with VAR, though, Connor. You just take forever to make decisions, and do you know what? That's it.
That's the thing, isn't it, though? That's very interesting, everyone at home. You've got Connor saying one thing, Doug saying another thing. That's how just football fans are in general. Like, and that's probably how the it's like that in probably the FA boardroom with all these refs. Half of them think one thing, they love Liverpool, and then half of them dislike Liverpool. They're all Manx. So it depends which one you get on the weekend. But yeah, I'm 50-50. I agree with both of them. I understand where Doug and Connor are coming from, and I think yous will be the same. Probably people in your own household are probably going, that's a pen, and then half of them are saying that is not a pen. But yeah, that's the beauty of football. It's a decisions-based game anyway. For me, I was screaming on the live stream, was like, that's never a pen. But when you look at certain angles, it looks like it was a pen. But Doug, yeah, spot on there with the penalty. When I seen it at first, I was like, Ginny, it's just the wall. And then obviously with replays, the referee got the right decision. I felt the Fulham, whoever it was, not really bothered who it was, but like, he changed his body. And as soon as you turn your body, especially in the penalty box, and if it was like that, and like the ball hit him like there, but his arm's like there, his arm is in an unnatural position to really direct the ball away from goal. But spot on there, Joe. as you spot on there too, I mentioned obviously Lookman and Loftus-Cheek. I was very impressed though, from their forward three lads. And Reed, I felt he took the goal very well. Sloppy defender from Liverpool. Obviously, we was speaking to Connor before. There was about 3 phases. Do you reckon Liverpool could have dealt with that? Obviously, I know Connor was saying on social media, people were criticising Alisson just for that, not on his performance, but just for the goal. But I felt that ball could have been cleared about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I think the thing is that like you look at it like, okay, you know, you could have been a foul on Salah, but then again, you could have said that that would have been harsh. Although Patrice Evra on Sky Sports has continued to be a whiny little bitch. Honestly, honestly, I'm fed up with him on Sky. Absolutely fed up with him. He always seems, Liverpool seem to be getting the rub of the green with these decisions. Well, yeah, we got away with one today, but how many times in Manchester United got away with stuff? You know,
go and kiss a chicken again.
Honestly, absolutely, honestly, Patrice Evra is a whining little bitch. Anyway, but yeah, we could have done better to clear that. Yeah, people blaming Alisson. I think it's a great strike from Bobby Reed. I think it was a great strike. So I don't see. I mean, I've obviously said that he maybe should do better, but it's a great strike in the end from Bobby Reed. But no, in all honesty, my match reaction is just uploading as we speak, and I've actually said in my title, Fulham deserved more from me.
Yeah, we said that. I think you were talking into your Cuddy. You're probably watching anyway. At the top of the show, me and Connor, and I think we can all agree Liverpool were very lucky. And I said in the title, very lucky not to lose this game. And I think Fulham will be kicking themselves. Got a couple more comments as well. Robinson for Fulham played well. He kept Salah quiet for most of the game. Absolutely spot on there, mate. And I think Mourinho, as I said at the top of the show, everyone watching, Doug as well, Mourinho will be licking his lips off the back of this result, won't he? This is a classic Jose Mourinho. He'll be parking that El Busso at Anfield.
Yeah.
Come the next fixture anyway.
That's what concerns me on. Wednesday is that he has a knack of getting a result at Anfield. I know his last result was obviously a 3-1 defeat, but Spurs are playing really, really well. So you do worry about Wednesday.
Yeah. So what should the Premiership get rid of? The VAR, as it's taking too much time reviewing the innocence. Sam, if I had my own way and I was in charge in the FA, I'd get rid of all the referees and buy all the best referees in the world football, because you're meant to have the best product of a game and you've got the standard of refereeing. So disgrace.
It's not the technology it's
the people in charge.
Yeah, it is the people in charge. Look at how UEFA deal with things, and that look how the Champions League works. Look how the Europa League works. It works. Okay, yes, they might get decisions wrong, but how many times do we hear about VAR being a controversial thing in the Champions League? We don't. We always hear about, good things and that, they got the decision correct and things, I guess. Even in other European leagues, Bundesliga, Liga, and, it's always, we're not talking about VAR. We're talking about, the actual football in this country. We're always talking about VAR. Why is that? It's because of the official.
Yeah. Man, just don't want to be speaking over. We'll be speaking about the Reds and how well Fulham did play as well. I've seen a couple of comments here. Why is it so typical of us to not capitalise on other teams' slip-ups? Say, Klopp, I think we have done that well in the last 2 seasons. I think this season, if we had a whole, I tell you, we'd be walking this league if none of our players were injured, but that's not an ideal world, and I think it's about time. Over the last 2 seasons, we haven't had a lot of keen injuries to our main players, to our starting 11, but I think this season it is the year to test the squad and allow some young players to develop and really push their way into the starting 11. But so what should it... Oh, got that one now. I Actually, Minamino did well when he came on. He impacted the game more than in previous runouts. His position for us is going forward is definitely midfield. Spot on there, Klopp, as always. Seen when it's actually Klopp with his Jag YouTuber accounts, but he's like, yeah, but yeah, you hit the nail on the head, mate. I felt he had a fantastic game. Mitchell said Sky is the most Liverpool biased media out there, and we can't be having a proper Sky. Spot on there, Mitchell. Absolutely spot on. I tell you, if you're an opposition fan watching Sky, you pull your hair out week after week when Liverpool are on, because you got so many ex-players on there. But you couldn't have a Liverpool player, but you had to put on a Manchester United player, spice it up a bit. It's the first time we go away with something this season. Overall, we've had the most decisions go against us. Klopp, yeah, I agree with that, mate. But I think Liverpool, you've got to create your own luck for the majority of the season. It does even itself out anyway. And today, I don't want to be looking at refereeing decisions. You've got to personalise, analyse your own team's performance. And we didn't do enough to really get all 3 points, and that's credit to Fulham because they made us play like that. Predictions for the weekend? Oh, Mark. Oh, I'll take a 1-0, Mark. I'll tell you, if we play like that, we will get beat by Tottenham easily. Very easily, we'll be getting beat by Tottenham. If I'm praying Trent's not injured, but obviously we've spoken about at the top of the show it being precautionary. Will be that said anyway, but Connor, quick score prediction for the Tottenham game?
3-1 Liverpool. I think if you watch Palace game earlier on, Palace, same with Fulham today with us. Palace destroyed them for like 25 minutes, 30 minutes. So me personally, I think Tottenham have one game plan: Son and Kane. You shut them two up, they got nothing else. So for me, I'm going 3-1. I'm probably going to be wrong now. Watch.
It's all right. No, it's all right. So I bet you someone out there has cut out a video of me going 6-0 and then 1-1 now. I said 6-0 for this game. But yeah, Doug, quick score prediction for the weekend?
Oh, I'll go 2-1. They always have a knack of scoring against us, don't they, Spurs? Especially last.
Harry Kane down as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think they scored after about 30 seconds last time, so hopefully we do a lot better than last time around. But yeah, I'll go 2-1. We seem to be 2-1 FC at Anfield, so I'll go 2-1.
Yeah, spot on there, boys. As I'll be happy with 1-0, mate. Our away form has to be called into question. We are just fortunate no one else has ran away with it this season. But simply put, our title challenge will fade if we don't improve. It'd be interesting, say, Klopp, there's a lot of if, buts and maybes. Spot on with your comment, mate. It'd be interesting to see, as you said, if City were playing as well as they were when they were neck and neck with us all those seasons ago. I tell you, City would have won the title already, considering how many points ahead they would have been. They would have been ridiculous. But yeah, Liverpool do need to improve. But this is all about the learning curve and obviously us having that many injuries. But you can't be looking and feeling hard done by yourselves as a team, really, because a lot of teams have got a lot of big injuries. And you've just got to look forward and look for the positives. Curtis Jones, what a performance, Connor. Today, the whole team was off in the first half. But second half, Curtis, we were all looking to that half-time going, someone's got to do something. Someone's got to grab the game by the scruff of the neck. And Curtis Jones today was phenomenal. He ran the midfield, especially in some aspects of that second half. Would you agree? What really impressed you with his performance?
Just the way that, I think it was like a piece it was probably the first half. And I think Fulham, when we were, I think if Rob Ball was struggling at left back, Curtis Jones just bombs back, gets the ball and just like works his way around the defenders and then just bombs forward and then like tries to, help Liverpool go forward. And that was what happened mainly in the second half. But the difference was Curtis Jones was getting those balls through to Mane. He was, working his way through the the defense and that. And, the second, I think he went, I think it was like, 10 minutes to go, he made that mad run that I thought he was going to finish it. And I thought,
I tell you, if he scored that lap, I think my nipples might have come out because, I don't know, I had to censor the video. That would be naughty,
it was if that had gone in, that would have been one of the best goals of the season. I can guarantee you that. But it's not only that, we look at Curtis Jones now, and I think all of us at the start of the season, we were like, yeah, Curtis Jones he's just going to be an addition to the midfield. He's going to be, probably the last pick out of everyone, maybe, just to work into the team, and then maybe next year, then he might become a more of a regular. But Klopp's just thrown him in at the deep end, and he's been fantastic. For us in the league, in the Champions League as well, he's been superb. And I know that I think we've all said it, he is, I think in our eyes, the next Stevie G, in the sense that, he can take that midfield role and can command it then, really. And I think that is what he is going to do over the next 12 months, is going to, maybe take that role. If Thiago walks into the team when he is fit and available, but if Curtis Jones can make such an impact from now until maybe January, February, when Thiago is back, then I think Klopp has a real headache on his mind to think, I could rest the likes of Henderson, I could rest the likes of Gini, and I could play Thiago, Curtis Jones, and not miss the quality factor, because I think that's the best thing about Curtis Jones as well. You're not missing quality, you're adding it. And I think that is a very crucial thing for Liverpool going forward and defensively this season.
Spot on. I feel, considering the amount of injury-prone midfielders we've got at the club, I can just see Curtis playing every single week. Him and Gini in the midfielder park. Obviously, we've got Hendo filling at centre-back. Will he be playing there against Tottenham? But, Doug, what impressed you off the back of what Connor's had to say? To see him really spearheading Liverpool now in that midfield, considering obviously the absentees, which we have got in the middle of the park.
I think I said to both of you, I think it was last week, he's virtually undroppable now, Curtis Jones, in my opinion. I think he's been absolutely fantastic recently. And I would have been made up if he had scored that amazing run, because that was a fantastic run. It's just unfortunate that he kind of mishit his shot. It was a good low shot that the Areola saved, but I thought he was probably our man of the match, in all honesty. I think he was our man of the match. As
an outfield player, yeah, most definitely, mate. 2-1, Seamus has gone for the Tottenham result anyway. Midweek, yeah, just hope we win. As long as we win. Nice one, Seamus. We like rugby, big screens, the refs check VAR, refs mics, and overhead pitch cameras. If we ran, the fans ran. The Premier League, I think you would have that. I'd love nothing more than to mic a couple of these mank refs up and just see what they're saying. Give everything against Liverpool. That'd be nice. Especially you should. I'm pretty sure they do live stream the VAR rooms, but I tell you, there'd be some absolute murder going on in the VAR rooms. The couple of games we've had anyway, but yeah. Absolutely spot on. Really, I've talked about obviously the first half performance, the impact of Mini when he come on. Nico played very well when he come on as well. Mane. Is that like 10, 11 games now he's gone without scoring? It wasn't a game for him today yet again. He's not going to go too much into Mane because we know how good he can be. I think he's just gone through a bit of a 10-game patch, really, and I think he will come out stronger, really. Bobby found it very difficult. I think if he could have played a couple more forwards, I think we'd very much struggle to really bypass that Fulham defence. Salah, the only plus in which he had was the penalty, really. He had a couple of opportunities, but Fulham. Got to credit Fulham, but absolutely spot on. But yes, I think that we'll have to cap it off there and approaching the 40-minute mark. But thank you very much to every single one. He is Connor from the Cop Council. Make sure you do head over and subscribe to his channel if you're not aware of his channel, and Doug from the Dugout Football channel. Thank you very much, lads, for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. didn't get all 3 points, but we go again against obviously Tottenham. But mate, I'll leave all the links to their lads' channels. Connor, where can everyone find you on your socials, matey?
First of all, thank you for having me on. Again, mate, I do very much appreciate it. And yeah, the Cop Council, YouTube, of course, Twitter and Instagram as well.
And Douglas?
Right down here, the Dugout Football Channel on YouTube. I'm going live tomorrow for the Champions League draw. So if anyone wants to tune into that, then they are free to do so. And you can find me on Instagram at Douglas.Horn. You can also find me on Twitter at Enrod_1992. And you can also find me on Facebook at Douglas James Horn. But thank you very much for having me again, Jack. And hopefully bounce back on Wednesday, hopefully.
We will. I think there's no better game really to bounce back in. Obviously, a big game like Tottenham, top of the table clash. I think if it was another team that sat behind the ball, I know that's all Tottenham are going to do at the weekend in the next game anyway. But I think we thrive more after big games, don't we? And obviously, as Doug said there, I will be live as well through the live draw as well. So we'll try and get a couple of lads on as well. Your thoughts in the comment section below as well, boys and girls. If there's any girls watching, don't know Chloe's watching. But yeah, thank you, Reds around the world, Sam, Mark as well, Seamus, Mitchell, Tom as well, Doug from as well when he was in the comment section below, Zuki as well, Liz as well. Trying to find, we've got everyone, Mark as well, every single one. You really do appreciate the support. As always, on the live stream watch along as well, and obviously on this video, if you didn't mind dropping a like on the video, you already have anyway. A lot of you have, but just helps out the channel, just pushes it out there a lot more. But Reds, have a lovely rest of your night, lads. Have a lovely rest of your nights. I think me and Connor are probably going to play a bit of Call of Duty. Anyway, but yeah, Reds, have a lovely rest of your night, and we'll see you tomorrow for the draw. And I had a dream, everyone. Sound like Martin Luther King. I had a dream that we got Lazio. Yeah, so if we get Lazio, I might put on a couple of Lotto numbers if that comes out. But yeah, see you later, Reds. We'll see you tomorrow, and sleep well, Reds, and look after yourself. You'll never.